everybody, welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm the host of the show, Mark, and you're watching Whiskey Review number 211, Glen Scotia 15-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey here on Whiskey Whistle. I'm very excited about this. It's been a long time since I've had Glen Scotia on the channel. About a year and 2 or 3 months or so. That was last summer, 2016 in Winnipeg when I reviewed the double cask from Glen Scotia. So really excited to have this here. This has only recently been released here in Seoul, South Korea. That's where I live. And so thankfully, it's now available. So that's great. Oh my goodness, a spider has just dropped down from the sky right here. Hello, friend. Where are you going? Don't bite me. Oh, down he goes. My goodness. Go, go, go. All right. Get out of here. I'm not going to step on you. Just don't bite me. Or do bite me if you're radioactive. Okay. Beautiful bottle. This is probably one of the sexiest bottles in the industry. Just saying. It might be... yeah. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It even looks good from the back. Now, there's only a couple of things that I like to see going, and I definitely like to see this going. Although I wouldn't like to see it go all the way to the end of the bottle, that's for sure. Label to the front so you can see while I pour beautifully. Alright, so that's roughly 30 milliliters or so. Maybe slightly, well, anyway, we'll call it 30 milliliters. Very nice pour. The first thing we're going to talk about this whiskey, well, we should talk about the alcohol percentage. This is 46%. It's non-chill filtered. And according to one source, it actually may be natural in color. And there's no indication on the back here to the contrary. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Now I'd like to have a look at the color with you. It is pretty rich in color. So let's have a look here. So what do you see? To my eyes, I see something beyond gold. Getting into the amber. So this is like a fairly dark shade of amber, and something kind of like, well, Manuka honey, and not quite maple syrup, but anyway, on that path to maple syrup. Anyway, very attractive color. And 15 years old, not that old, that's still on the fairly, on the young side of things. But it looks as though they have matured these in very excellent American oak casks. Now, like many people who are really into whiskey, I find European casks much more to my liking. But this one does a fantastic job with these American casks. Beautiful, excellent, excellent stuff here. So let's get into the nosing, then we'll go on to the tasting. We'll talk about the finish, and then we'll give it the Whiskey Whistle whiskey score at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you have not yet subscribed to Whiskey Whistle, why not just click right over here? Right there. See that right there? Click it. All right. Okay, so we'll get onto the nose. And before that, we'll have a very short word from the YouTube sponsors here. Welcome back. Glen Scotia 15-year-old, bought here in Seoul, South Korea. Where, you ask? At the malt shop. 흥식정. So 흥식정, from his own stash, gave me a sample of this little number. So guess what's coming next? All right. So, again, we were under the nose, weren't we? It's very fruity. It's also a little bit peaty. And it has a fairly substantial grain note. Grain meaning, in this case, meaning cinnamon and brown sugar oatmeal, Quaker, from the Quaker Company. This is the smell that I get when I open the bag of the single serve packet of Quaker cinnamon and brown sugar oatmeal, the instant kind. Now, of course, I took some notes, so I'd like to go through those with you, okay? For fruit, what I find this tastes most of are plums, dried plums, and also some mango. I mentioned the peat. It's a very aromatic peat, this one. And it's really interesting that some other websites never made any mention of the peat. But this is of the same order of peating as, let's say, well, it's more than Macallan. Well, about the same as Springbank, maybe a little bit less, and possibly of the same order as Oban, which is also a little bit peated compared to other Highland single malt whiskies. And some saddle leather, very particular leather, and that's the smell that I get here. Rich fruit cake, salted caramel, and candied ginger. These are my nosing notes. On to the palate. Cheers, everybody. You get this burst of sweetness right off the bat. And the next thing that I notice is something like Popeye's cigarettes. The candy. Popeye's candied cigarettes. I think they don't sell them anymore. It has that kind of, for lack of a better word, a chalky, candy, sort of a feeling on my tongue that I'm noticing, along with that sweetness of that really, really sweet candy. Then I'm getting some port-like sweetness, something like that fortified wine, very sweet, sweet ones. A little bit like that in there, wine gums. Then I notice the peat wisps wisping over my tongue. Following that, some subtle cinnamon, but more than the cinnamon, I'm getting vanilla by the cup load, and some orange, like an orange reduction, something that you would want to mix into a dressing, salad dressing, not a turkey dressing. Everything, every part of the palate is pleasing to my palate. See what I did there? All right, and the finish, it's very fruity. It's got a really, really fruity finish. Apricots, plums, along with the vanilla, some orange jam, and a little bit of salt thrown in there. Oh my, I like that. Sometimes I think I sound like I'm from Minnesota. I'm definitely not from there. I don't want to use that spoon. That's the other one. Sorry for the noise. All right, we're going to add 1 and 2. This one is a thirsty malt. It's very lovely, lovely, very nice, neat, but it's also kick-ass. Can I say that on YouTube? It's also kick-ass with water. And this is a good time for me to say, what the heck happened with my last review? Review 210, that was Teeling single malt, Teeling small batch blended Irish whiskey. Now, something happened with YouTube. They did not like the video, and they flagged it for content. and it said to me, this video is not suitable for most advertisers, or something like that. And then there was a request review button, so I clicked it, and then it said review requested. Warning: channels with less than 1,000 views in videos with less than 1,000 views in the first 7 days may not get reviewed. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so I reached out to the community, the whiskey fabric, and I asked everyone, please watch this, so we can get it up to 1,000, so that they'll review it and then, permit it. For whatever reason, I think that was the AI system of YouTube, which has been rejigged recently. Obviously, did not like what I was saying. Oh, and I totally forgot that this time. Oh man, well, we can still do it, but it's going to be a little bit not... shoot. I wanted to look at the legs with you. Let's pour a little more. That's what we'll do. Executive decision. Into the Kilt Lifter Scotch Club glass. I'll just pour a little bit because we don't need much to look at the legs. That should be enough. There we go. Catch those drips. So we'll look at the main drizzle, and then we'll look at the secondary drizzle. That is a WhiskyWhistle coined term that is soon to appear in all whiskey books. Secondary drizzle. Okay, so I'm going to roll that around and try to get it close. Oops, I spilled some all over my leg. Christened myself. We will get the liquid all the way up to the lip, if I can. Roll it around. That's not working very well for some reason. There we go. Okay. And let's have a look at those legs. They are fairly quick with this one. Oh, but there on the back side, now you can see that secondary drizzle happening. And these are some slow legs. And again, look at the glass. Look at how messy that has gotten. Now I find that, why is it fogging up? Interesting. The glass is fogging up for some reason. I find that the only whiskeys that really give me this kind of a supremely messy glass are ones that have been unchill filtered. So, interesting. Alright, well, we're getting back into this one now with water having been added. And just for fun, what happens to the legs with this one now that water's been added? What do you think is going to happen? Well, let's see. I think they're just going to go a little bit faster. Yeah, they're much less noticeable. But boy, that secondary drizzle is, to my eyes, even slower than the first time. And still extremely messy. So interesting. And fun. Very fun. Okay, so on the nose with water added, I find you get some lemon lime, which is really interesting. And what else do we get here? More mango. And the emergence of a kind of apricot-y sort of a scent. The leather has subsided, the fruit cake is kind of gone, but now I'm getting something very fresh smelling. And it's a little bit like eucalyptus or mint, and reminding me of kind of like after 8, the after dinner mints, mint candy, whatever you want to call that. It's not really a chocolate, is it? Well, it's chocolate with mint something inside. So So a nice departure, a little bit of added mint or eucalyptus sort of a scent coming through. All right, how about the palate? Let's see if that's any different. Cheers, everybody. A little bit more balanced sweetness. That chalky candy, like the Popeyes, is kind of gone. And I'm getting sort of a jelly-like mouthfeel now, which is interesting. The peat wisps are more prominent, which is also a little unusual. And I'm getting a kind of a salted toffee sort of a taste coming through as well. Again, very interesting, very nice. Maybe a little bit more balanced with water added. Now the finish, I still get that sweetness, I still get those fruits, but I'm also getting something kind of like a dentist office vanilla fluoride pack. Not the flavor as it's in your mouth, but afterwards, when the clock dings and they come and pull that thing out, you're sitting over the sink and your saliva is dripping down, and then finally you take it out and you got that flavor. It's very much vanilla, and yet at the same time it's got that sort of I don't know, like again kind of like eucalyptus or like that. What, Novocaine kind of a flavor? Is it a flavor? I don't know what it is. Anyway, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Probably if you're much younger than me, you don't, because I don't think they do that. Do they do that still? Fluoride packs? I think the world's moving away from fluoride, isn't it? All right, well, anyway. One more taste here, and then we'll talk about the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score. I take my time on this channel. It's gorgeous. I really like just about everything about this. And neat and with water, different enough that you really should try them both. Even if you're a diehard, just add a bit of water just to see what happens. Could you have it with ice? Why not? I don't know why I keep doing this. I guess it's a horsey kind of day here. All right, so the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score, let's talk about that now. We'll have a short word from the YouTube sponsors right here. So the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for Glen Scotia Single Malt Scotch Whiskey, 15-year-old, is going to be 92 out of 100. Yep, 92 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for Glen Scotia 15. This is very sense-pleasing to the nose, to the palate. Even after you swallow, it's quite complex, and it's got something for everyone in this whiskey. So that is absolutely highly recommended from me, Mark, here at WhiskyWhistle. Well, hope you enjoyed that one. Stay tuned for what's coming next. That's going to be the Glen Scotia Victoriana, 51.5% ABV, NAS, but let's call it a deluxe NAS. Okay, so that's coming next. Did you subscribe? If not, click right there. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of this review. Tell me what you think of Glen Scotia. Do you have a whiskey you'd like to recommend? I'd love to hear it from you, okay? So we'll see you next time, and goodbye. Thanks for watching WhiskyWhistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like, and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.